From the backdrop, Jess, it looks like we're doing another Unscripted, huh?
I don't care. I don't like wrestling.
All right.
I've never liked wrestling.
Yeah. We're so fucking... We're all really irritated right now. I'm sorry.
Everybody wants...
It'll be a good pod. It'll be a good pod.
Everybody
There's
wants to talk
nothing like
about,
a good irritation to make for a good EP. That's true.
We all short with each other.
It's like, fuck you, Craig.
Actually, Jess...
That's not correct what you said, Craig, even though you keep saying it incorrectly. It's not the right way to say it.
Hey, that's actually could apply to most everything I say.
What is wrong
I know, I was
with
going to
you?
say me too. Like, it can apply to everything I do in my life every day. No, Jess.
God damn it.
Lashley beat him.
So we're going to talk fucking Bray Wyatt returned at Extreme Rules last Saturday? Yeah, it was last Saturday. A week ago.
Was it more than a week ago? It was more than a week.
No, it was a week ago.
Should I be
It was a week ago.
like those guys?
Yeah.
And wake up my child and have to feed it a bottle? Should I be that guy?
That was great. Some of the reaction videos are... Yeah, some of the reaction videos are great.
Fucking stupid, bro.
I
was
popped at home big time. I loved it.
It was fine. It was. I'm glad he's back, and I think
Pop
that
it home and then like watch it instead of screaming for 5 minutes. I'm just
Well, I mean that's a little ridiculous. Like some of the reaction videos were fucking.
I'm gonna live
embarrassing.
stream and scream the whole time. It's fucking great.
Like I'm glad wrestling fans are passionate, and here's what concerns me. Right, is I think
they're gonna fuck it up. Yeah.
No, well they did before, obviously. Dave,
Did we start it by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made a comment
Sorry.
before. Did you not record?
No, I'm recording.
Oh, you made a comment before, like the Woods Bray Wyatt characters, the backwoods, like that character when he had Harper and Rowan and all that stuff.
No,
even
there's
before
nothing wrong with
Braun, like that character, that wasn't done. And I was like, you're right, it wasn't done.
It wasn't done.
I don't remember why he went away, if he was injured or I don't remember why it stopped.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was injured.
And then he came back as the Fiend, and then they made the Fiend like everything with the Fiend in it was like a fever dream. And I hate that type of wrestling. And I know Vince was always into... Yeah, I know Vince was always into production, and we make movies anyway, so it's like a soap opera episode every week.
Yeah.
But it was awful. I hated what they did. The Bray Wyatt character, or the Fiend character was fucking awesome. The mask, everything was great. When he would carry the lantern down, I always thought when he carried the lantern down, it should be the head of his opponent. Every single opponent that he comes down, he's carrying the lantern.
Yeah.
But I mean, I get it, you can't, but that's what happened. And then he leaves.
The pandemic stuff, like the movie stuff, the Cena stuff was fine because of the pandemic. But like the Orton stuff with the projection was some of the dumbest shit. The big Jack in the Box, like they was so played out.
Oh
it was.
They overthought him. They overthought him, and it sucked.
Yeah.
And like they tried to make the scenes bigger than his character, when his character should be the star. That's who he was. So I'm optimistic, right? He's coming back as regular Bray Wyatt now, like it seems that.
Well,
I know.
we'll see.
I know. As we're
mask,
recording this, he's going to be on SmackDown, so we're going to air this, and we're not going to have seen SmackDown, so he's going to speak tonight, I guess, or make an appearance or whatever. But I thought it was really cool the way he came back at Extreme Rules. It was fine. A lot of people are buzzing online. Is there going to be a faction? Because they had the live characters, the Buzzard, the Bunny, Sister Abigail were all in the crowd live. If anyone hasn't seen Extreme Rules, that's how they re-debuted him. And then the Fiend was also in the crowd. So I've loved watching and listening to some other podcasts of fans. Like all that stuff was, they're going to play it off like it was a dream of his, or all that stuff was like in his head. Like they're all characters that he wished he played, or people that have left him a long time ago. Like Sister Abigail was someone from his past. The Fiend was someone from his past, and it's the way he projected something. So hopefully, like, they just play it straight. I don't mind, an Undertaker type of gimmick. I just want him to finish whatever gripe he has with someone, put it in the ring, and just wrestle. We're watching wrestling. But I trust Triple H and Shawn Michaels with that. So I'm really hoping that they do good. I really do believe that Shawn and Triple H will treat Bray's character great. I think they'll give him a lot of fucking input. I think Bray's super positive and super creative, and I can't wait. I hope they don't have a 6-person faction. That's way too many fucking people, because we're just trying to get to know Bray again. And if you introduce a whole faction with him, it's like, dude, I want to know what Bray's about now. I want to know where he's been, what his character is now. If you water him down with the whole faction, I don't know if it's going to work. I could be wrong.
Yeah, it depends all how it's done, obviously. Like, my biggest surprise was how, and I know they sweeten the crowd for the pop, so everyone that's saying like, oh, it sounded like the biggest pop ever, like just know that like they sweeten that crowd obviously and can make it sound however you want these days. But I know that from a personal opinion, sitting home, I popped like hell from my couch, and that was knowing for weeks that it was Bray, and then it was gonna be Bray, and then it was always Bray, and the fact that they made it and it wasn't a surprise and it didn't matter and I still kind of popped. I was like, that's how you know it's well done. I wasn't like, oh, told you, or like, oh man, it's the same thing with the stupid lantern. Like it just worked for me.
It really
in its
is
simplicity.
the epitome, by the way, of listening to the fans. I know Vince always said that, but I don't think he always did. I think when Vince wanted to be stubborn, no, I tell them what they want. I think to a certain extent, yes, you do. Like tell the crowd what they want, but that always is a derivative of what they kind of want to begin with, and then you sort of nurture it and tell them. They booed Cena and they booed Roman in the originally because of that, because they felt, oh, you like them, they're popular. Now we're gonna manufacture them and we're gonna tell you how they should be. And we're like, no, we want it. And I think that's the perfect example with Bray. I think Vince was like, no, the Fiend's gonna be what I think the crowd wants to see. We all know they like Bray, but it's what I want. And then it sucked. And then now I really want Bray to be what we want Bray to be. So I love the pop for him, and I love the excitement because it means that as fans, we're not done with him. And that's a great fucking sign when you're not done with the character yet. And you bring back the old guy, the original Bray, hell yeah. Like, now we can fucking do this right. Now we can... And they'll do little things here and there and probably leave like little Fiend hints and stuff, and that's great. That's awesome. I hope so. Yeah. But yeah,
and Dave, did you didn't like it as much as we did, right? And what was the reason you kind of did it? Did it fall flat for you? Like, be honest.
Well, I thought it was a little overdone when it came through.
That's a fair point.
I'm seeing.
You know what, Dave? The camera shots when they were doing when they would zoom in on it, some of them were a little fucked up and it was a little off. And I was like, are they fucking up production right now? Yeah, it was really weird. Like because they knew where that person was going to be. And it almost seemed like the spotlight at times was like, oh shit. And the camera was trying to.
You could argue that they were trying to like see it, zoom in on it because they didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
Whatever.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point too. I
don't care about that. I'm like, you just fucking threw 6 stuffed animals on the screen in fucking adult form. And I don't like that. Like
that's okay.
And by the way, can I just say that does Bray really need that? No.
They could. That's a good point. They could have done a collage of all his characters on the video screen, and then he just came out. They didn't need to do the live crowd shot. And people would have lost their mind
unless you have a faction.
I hope not. Like
I heard Bo Dallas is coming back, so that's the rumor too.
I think he resigned. Bo Dallas resigned.
I love Bo Dallas. I'd love to see him again.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have a family with him. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying for now, I want to know who is Bray Wyatt? What's he doing now? I don't want a faction to water him down right away. I need him to kind of like speak to me a little bit. And then we can understand him, and then we'll accept a faction. And that could be what they're doing. That could be what's happening on SmackDown tonight, and we're all going to watch it after we hit record and be like, oh,
this is my brother, my aunt, my uncle, my Tommy, the bunny.
And my dad, IRS, pay your taxes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Who shared that tweet about his dad like going into business for himself about his son? Was that you, Jess?
IRS is like, I'm real happy to see my son back or whatever, but you better make sure your taxes are paid up. I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. Like, Dad, you're ruining everything, Dad.
I thought it was funny. Dad.
You don't get it, Dad.
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 You don't understand the business, Dad.
I'm a fantastical creature, Dad.
You don't understand the business. You don't know what you're doing, Dad. Oh, you don't think I know what I'm doing? I wrestled before you. Whatever, Dad. That's the argument that they have.
It's like Wallflower trying to talk to his dad.
It's like a wrestling family argument. So then, just real quick, I want to branch into Extreme Rules, the pay-per-view that we're talking about. It's a B pay-per-view, and it was a fucking really good show. I loved Extreme Rules. You can, nitpick some certain things about it, but they're all were really good matches. I thought the Riddle and Seth match was a little too short, but it was fine. The Donnybrook or Dollybrook or whatever it was with Sheamus on them was great. I really enjoyed that. The women's ladder match was good. Belair, she's a star. And it doesn't hurt Bayley to take the loss because she's got a faction and she's a heel. So I thought everything, you really, and we'll give your thoughts on it too. And I think this really parlays into like what the vibe that Triple H and Shawn Michaels to a certain extent have created in WWE now. And everything about it, even if it's something I didn't like personally, I was like, well, I see why they did it. Like everything is very gentle now and very clear, and it wasn't like that with Vince like 3, 4, or 5 months ago. And so, what do you guys think of Extreme Rules, and what do you think of the product right now?
Vince did a lot of shock to go, well, you didn't.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to swerve you, bro. Kind of sometimes with certain matches that I think he didn't think mattered, but they mattered to the fans, right? Which is why we all thought Bianca was going to lose. She didn't, and she shouldn't, right? I think if that's Vince, you know, and I really truly believe at this moment that he does not have any control because it is different.
No, he doesn't. It's very different.
It's very different. And I do see Bayley going over on Bianca in that moment because in his mind it doesn't matter as much as Roman, but it should because the fans they really bought into Bianca Belair. I think we all have. Everybody on the show has.
Yeah.
I love what she's doing. I am pleasantly surprised about how much she's taken on the main roster and has been able to adapt to it in a very short amount of time to win the title, lose it, chase it, get it back, and the crowd has been behind her every step of the way. It's good. It's
maybe it's because I'm a dad now at 45 years old, but every time I see a little girl with a fake clip-on like ponytail and twirling it, I'm
awesome.
like, this is why they do it, and that's awesome. And I see the little girl get empowered. I see them like believe in her, and I'm like, dude, she's a great face and a great athlete, and I just enjoy her.
My only problem with that match, and I think it was the strangest psychology have you ever seen in a ladder match where like everything kind of hurt. It was a very slow paced, methodical, but I really liked it. But my only point about that match was like, so if Bianca can beat up all three of them, then how do you go forward from this when she can, against all odds, beat all three of Damage Control, and still kind of come out on top? But like, but it didn't. It only bothered me for a second. Like it was still great to see. And what else you can't stop her kind of her role right now. Like she's just too much of a dominant force. You can't stop.
I know a lot of people like Bayley and they like the individual members of Damage Control. But what is Damage Control?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heel faction. They don't really do anything. They get in there and they cut promos every week, and it's kind of boring.
Yeah, they just started.
But I love Bayley's heel character. She is great. I love Bayley. I love what she's done with her character. She's fucking funny. Like,
just to your point, there was a moment in that match where she flubbed a ladder move, and the ladder spilled to the side, and people were like, "Oh, you fucked up!" And she turned, and she absorbed it completely. Yeah. And took it back on them, and like, well, she didn't say "fuck you," like she practically did, and I was like, there it is, right? Like she gets it now.
That's why I wasn't worried about it. I mean, I don't know how far Damage Control is going to go.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But Bayley will go to the moon.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I've seen that like two pieces of the ladder like move before, like where they knock the hinges off, and then later on that second piece is the one she flipped and hit her John. Like, I thought that was super inventive. I'm sure it's been done, but I thought it was
good creative stuff, and that's why I loved Extreme Rules because like they tried every match to make it different, and I think that's great. That's I
was bought into Ronda like in that match for some strange reason. Everything was good. A lot of people
mad that Liv lost. I'm like, as long as you have direction,
as
long as there's a big face that comes along and beats Ronda, I'm fine with it. Because Liv can only she's the 15 minutes of fame girl. She's the underdog. Like, she's chasing. She needs to chase. I don't want to see her champion for a year. Like, the character's not built for that. And she's come a long way. She is so much.
You said it best where, like, she made the most out of this moment.
Yeah, like, but now you kind of view her as a main event. So
I'm still mad she lost, though. I'm a big Liv fan. I'm mad that she lost.
She's improved like just so much. Like I can't stress enough how improved she is and what a good wrestler she's become. And she's only going to get better. And she's starting to build her own fan. You see now that she's starting to understand her own character. I don't think before she did. I think, but now she's like starting to understand herself, and she's getting that crazy look. A lot of people think that she might go with the Bray faction, but
that's it. Where she smiled before she passed out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are 8 weeks away from the road to WrestleMania and just starting that, so we've got to set things in motion now. And if that means bypassing short runs where you can't gamble on Liv for now, and you got to go with Ronda for a while to set something up later on down the road, it's what you got to do.
It's starting to sound like SoFi and Venmo are going to be synonymous with a few of us in a couple of weeks. Just saying. We got to work on that. But yeah, we'll be there at WrestleMania. Yeah, it's not that far away, man. We're talking what 7, 8 months. It's right there.
Yeah, it's in April.
Can't wait. I mean, right.
But it was good, and I think overall the WWE product has been way more. It's just so much easier. This past Raw was the best Raw I've seen in I don't know how long. Like I was like
Could
everything
you
that
say,
happened.
Jess, that was a season debut type of situation?
Well,
the season premiere
because of the changes.
It was, but at the same time, they didn't really do like too many shocking things. It's not like that. I liked it because there was a bunch of surprises or whatever. They had good matches that made sense. The Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano match was fucking great. Like I was like, oh my god, like watching them doing the fucking crowd was wasted on them. They're sitting on their hands. I hate WWE crowds sometimes. But I mean, it was such a good fucking match. And then the twist with Seth winning the U.S. title was believable. It didn't really bury Lashley because Lesnar comes back. That was a big surprise. I get that. You're not going to get that every week. But even before the Lesnar thing, I was saying, really what a great Raw this has been. Like, but yeah, before Lesnar came back, I was like, what a great Raw this has been, even before he came out. So it wasn't because of Lesnar that I liked the show. It was just a good show. It was nicely paced. I
didn't want to like the DX celebration, but I did.
Because it was short and they didn't bury anybody and they didn't go in there and super kick a bunch of people or whatever. Like they didn't shit on the younger talent. They stayed away from it, which I liked.
They make us feel old is what they did.
Yeah.
Because
which they should. I think they should, like when they come out. And then what's the faction? The faction. The Finn Balor
Judgment Day.
Judgment Day is what a turnaround. Like it seemed like 3 months ago they had no idea what direction they were going in. They're fucking cool. Like
Dom
really
Mysterio has become like he's a different person. It's very cool.
But they all protect him. I noticed in the interviews they coach him along. Like the crowd boos him. They've done a great job of making sure that Ray doesn't hit him. He hits Ray. But you know they're gonna milk this out. By the way, to like the Royal Rumble, they're gonna face it Mania.
Wild.
Yeah,
they're gonna. I know what you're gonna say.
Finn is really.
Face it
I'm not gonna say it, but
they're gonna face it Mania. That's gonna be great. Like I can't wait for that match. Like that's gonna be a really cool thing to see.
But Finn is our definite takeover of that faction. He is the man, right?
I almost think Ripley should be. She's the best. She's fucking great.
She's
very
sexy. Like I'm kind of jealous of Dom in a very strange way. Like there's
I love the little tongue in cheek they do together and everything.
Yeah.
I think she'd be the leader of the faction. How revolutionary would that be? That a woman leads a faction.
Are you saying like she's beating on him because she has an elementary crush on him?
I was texting with another buddy about like how kind of a BDSM the whole Judgment Day is between like when Finn came out with his like
you saw Finn's mask
his mask out. And like the domination of Rhea and Dom, and I'm like,
and she said that comment on a podcast she was on. She was like, when he wants the poppy, he gets the poppy. When he wants the mommy, he gets the mommy. And I'm like, what does that even fucking mean? More power to you, but what are you doing here?
There's a lot of layers to this little faction here going
on. I love all of it. I love the way they've been keeping Ray away. Now they're transitioning. AJ came out with the Good Brothers, and that was awesome. And again, so maybe there was more surprises than I thought. But I mean, I don't know if they're big surprises, right? Like Good Brothers are good. I have no problem with them. But at the same with Anderson and Gallows. But I mean, like, and I like that AJ has a faction to challenge Judgment Day, which I think is great because Edge is obviously going away again. Beth was murdered. And so now Edge.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that on Extreme Rules.
Yeah, that happened at Extreme. Oh, that match was probably one of my favorite matches. That
it was great.
Judgment Day against.
But it's funny. We had friends that called to like watch. They're gonna try to murder Beth, and that's how he's.
It was Finn. Yeah, it was Finn, and it was Finn against Edge at that. And what a great! At first, I was like, "Man, come on, Edge." You know, you always make fun of Edge. Like, I need 90 minutes. Like, we always make fun of Edge because he wants like fucking the whole day to tell the story. But then the last,
I need half the pay-per-view for the story.
Dude, the last 15 minutes of that match was as good as anything I've seen in the last 10, 15 years. Like, that was so good.
And you could have gotten to that so much quicker. I think the point's still valid. Like you don't.
I think you got to build it.
Need
it. To Edge's point, you do have to build it. Not 90 minutes, but I think you got to build it.
But you know, it's funny. I'm sure that it's happened, but I've never seen a match like that where it's an I Quit match where they didn't quit because they were being pummeled because someone that they loved through and through was being hurt, and that's what made them
I
quit.
think Dave called it, right? Didn't Dave say they're
No,
gonna?
no, it was Cuz.
Yeah, Cuz called it. Cuz said like they're gonna hold Beth
Hold her hostage,
and then Edge is gonna give up and they're still gonna do it anyway.
I think Cuz thought it'd be on camera, but it wasn't. It was like right in the ring, but still, so it happened that way. And I was like, I quit. I was like, he fucking did it. And then Rhea Ripley said, "You taught us too well," and still did fucking.
It's so weird because they started that faction under Vince, and then I'm so happy that Triple H is like, no, there's something that could be done here. Let's work with them a little bit. And they did the Dom turn and all that stuff. Like, it's just been since Triple H took it over. And I mean, I'm not trying to Craig. I know Craig loves him, but I'm not trying to overpraise Triple H. But he's just done the right stuff with it. He knows how to pace himself. But he gets today's wrestling. Like, that's all it is.
He does, and he also can look back on Finn's experience with faction and goes, "Oh, you do this little thing called Bullet Club. I guess that was okay. Why don't we see what you do
and it's not just Triple. It's them. If you do what you're like, if you're doing what you love and you feel empowered to do it, you're going to rise to the next level. So the wrestlers are putting it to the next level. I will say it's not necessarily Triple H on that.
Work.
Well, and I think Sean and Triple H give them that freedom. They're like, listen, we're not going to we'll script you. There's going to be bullet points, but we want you to feel the characters to say what you want. So I have a feel. Maybe they haven't announced it, because why do they have to announce anything, by the way? Like, I just feel from a lot of their promos that they're not scripted anymore. And I don't mean like totally not scripted. I mean like that Triple H is like, you kind of get on a vibe, just go ahead. And we'll see, and we'll rein you back in when we need to. I mean, you don't have to announce that to the dirt sheets for that to be true.
I even felt that on Raw in the beginning, where Sami Zayn is talking to Uso.
Oh, he's another one. We could talk forever about just some of the good shit.
Yeah, it wasn't scripted. Like, they knew what was going to happen and what was going to... But then they broke the music, and it was kind of unscripted. It was definitely there. Yeah. So I think, to your point, they're finding the moments to break that, but they're not making... They say, you got to touch on this, and then we're going to break. Do it however you want.
Yeah, and I just want to say that just real quick, going back a second, I hate I Quit matches. I think the breathing into the mic and the entire...
Can I stick up for Dave, please? Dave loves the microphone. And
I hate it so much.
It's so unnecessary.
The first time I met Dave, he's like, they need microphones in there on I Quit matches. And Dave has been a huge advocate for microphones.
The microphone always comes out within like the first 3 minutes when no one's
like the
gassed.
First thing I said, like, I hate this.
It's so
I can't stand
stupid.
it. I don't want this.
I fucking hate them breathing in it and everything. It's like a trigger. It's like watching someone eat cereal.
After Flair Funk, you should just have no more I Quit matches. Like, I think it peaked then.
Like, it did. It was the best I Quit match ever.
Yeah.
And even then, like, back in those days with the wired microphone, it wasn't even wireless.
No, that's all right. No. And that's like it's the third minute. The bell.
I will admit when Edge was like, get that out of my face. Get it out of my face.
Wait, I was like, don't quit. It's like, shut up.
It's pro wrestling. What are we going to do?
I know. Why are we complaining? We love it.
Another topic. The product's great right now, right? Like, it's awesome. Yeah. And I was going to talk about Mania possibilities, but I think we're too far away from Mania possibilities. So I want to talk about, Craig brought this up real quick, the change of the tide, right? And again, not to go back to Triple H and Shawn taking over after Vince, but like 6 to 8 months ago, even let's go a year ago, AEW was like if you weren't getting your wrestling itch scratched, AEW was providing that for you.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, since SummerSlam, WWE has been more than watchable. Even the 3-hour Raw has been less tedious, and their pay-per-views that they've done, especially Extreme Rules, has been fucking great. AEW now all of a sudden isn't the shiny new toy anymore. And then you have all the backstage stuff, which happened at the worst time, which happened right when Triple H took over. And I'm like, God, it almost seems like that's a script, right? That whole, it's like someone's writing the overall storyline of two wrestling promotions.
Came early for Triple H.
Yeah, it's like the second, like, CM Punk and all them started mouthing off, it's like that's when Vince left, and then it just, everything, like, has been in turmoil, in my opinion. And then even Sammy and Charlotte's husband got into a fight a couple of weeks ago, and it's like, dude, you cannot control your back locker room. What the fuck is happening? Like, this product is getting so much bad. Even like and the dirt sheets, like Meltzer and them,
they were going to get into it. Don't worry, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're fighting over
and
Twitter.
I'll say it to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, maybe it's a build. It's a build. It's a build. And then, like, no, one guy fucking Andrade gets fucking kicked out and doesn't get to fucking wrestle or be on the show. And, you know, it's like, wow, like, I can't believe this. You know,
It went from the place to escape to now everyone wants to escape out of it. And it's like, it's just a bad string of luck. And this is the test of Tony Khan to what kind of promoter or owner you can be in good
That's
times
a good point. But you know
and
what,
in
though?
bad
So
times.
far, he's not passing the test.
He's failing it. He's letting
he
CM
sounds
Punk.
like on every interview he does, he's a whiny bitch.
Yep.
He's like, I'm not going to deal with this shit. Them running pay-per-views the same day as me. It's like, no, you are going to deal with this shit. They're a massive company and they will fuck you up. Like they will. Don't fuck with them. Just because Vince is gone, the WWE legacy, that machine, that publicly traded company will fuck you up. Like, yeah.
Could I say one weird thing just to be devil's advocate on it? Could you argue that Vince would fuck it up just enough to make AEW relevant?
He did though.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
He did
and that's
before
what he did.
that. That's why AEW was formed. Now the very reason why AEW was formed went away, and now WWE is better, and everyone's like, "Oh, fucking AEW sucks." Like it's just, and wrestling fans are dicks, right? They're dicks.
In the long run, this could be bad.
Bad for who?
If they push AEW out,
bad for wrestling and that whole scope, because if it fails, I don't think it will. I think AEW.
Tony Khan seems like he's going to put. He said himself, he's like, I have a ton of money and I'm not done. So, you know. He's only 3 years old. He's only 3 years old. He's not even 5 years old.
My
yet.
biggest fear is that WWE actually takes them seriously and gets better like they are, and then boots them out of existence. And nobody wants.
There will always
be
plenty of talent to go back and forth. This Triple H thing,
I just hope that somebody doesn't look at it and goes, "Yeah, I'm pulling your funding," which is daddy.
Yeah, no, because WB Discovery is happy with the ratings. Nothing plays well on live television except for sports and wrestling anyway.
I know everybody hinges on the ratings because Tony Khan brought attention to the ratings. But like, even though I know people, oh man, they were only 900,000 this last week. They were still like in the top 5 in cable. So like, stop. Like everyone's streaming now. Ratings aren't what they used to be.
If you're right around a million viewers, you're fine.
Live sports is the only thing keeping people in cable and watching live television and fighting through commercials, and barely even then.
Yeah.
Like, so
because I'm an expert. For the record, I'm sure you both will agree with me. AEW Dynamite is fine. Is more than fine. Now, what deal they're going to get when they renegotiate their deal, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be better or the same. If it's the same, a lot of people consider that sort of a loss. But at the same time, like, if it's the same, they're not going anywhere. They do need to work on Rampage a little bit. Because I don't know if they know what they want Rampage to be. I'm of the opinion, this is just me, that they should just turn Rampage into Ring of Honor and be done with it.
You talked about that.
And I think. But Craig was saying, too, that with the Warner Brothers merger or whatever they're doing right now, like they're merging, that Ring of Honor might stream on HBO Max, or AEW's finally going to get a streaming home.
Or they want some more wrestling on another channel, another channel or
they
Discovery
might
Channel.
want Ring of Honor on another channel or something like that. And even if Ring of Honor only gets a couple 100,000 views, it's fine.
AEW or Ring of Honor on HBO Max, I'm there.
So in other words, a lot of people that are bitching about AEW right now, you're only looking at it from a storyline point of view. You might be a little disappointed with what Tony Khan's been doing. He's dealt since the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. People keep forgetting, in his defense, he had an amazing amount of injuries happen about 3 weeks before that fucking pay-per-view. He had to rebook the entire Forbidden Door pay-per-view because of injuries. His top, like 10 of his top talent got injured.
Adam Cole apparently has a concussion that he might never ever come back from, I heard yesterday.
Who, Miro?
Adam Cole.
Oh, Adam Cole. Yeah, Adam Cole might be done. Like Miro has been hurt for a while. They've been really quick. That's why Miro keeps leaving. He keeps aggravating his injury. He's not unhappy. Miro's hurt. And he never got well when he came over. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people don't realize. Now, is it a bad buy? Maybe. But at the same time, like, Tony Khan's given them space. He pays these fucking men and women to stay out, by the way. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And we don't need to forget that shit. He wants to take care of people. And so people who want to shit on AEW, fuck off. We need them.
And they will get a streaming deal. Like when HBO Max and Discovery joins together, they will get a deal on this, like, on this new kind of streaming service. And I'm going to blow your mind. The rumors are, because Warner Brothers Discovery is not doing very well stock-wise. The stock has lost 50% of its value in the last year. The rumors already are that they would merge with NBC Universal in 2024 as soon as they could.
Oh my God.
So could you imagine Comcast, NBC Universal joining with HBO and Discovery, and then we have a day somehow that maybe do you have WWE and AEW coexisting, or do you only keep one? this is all to come in the next 24 months. Who knows if it's true, but holy shit.
AEW's not going anywhere. Listen, he is a little creepy to me. And he rubs me the wrong way sometimes, Tony Khan. But I need to support him as a wrestling fan. We all need to. And I'm not trying to sound generic and dumb. If you want them to go out of business, you're dumb. And you don't understand wrestling. And you're not a real fan. You don't get business. He's got to do so many different. There's so many different things.
I don't have the platform to watch it, but I would watch it if I had the platform. I would.
And it's been, honestly, since Punk and all of them have been gone, it's been more watchable. It feels like he's trying to right the ship. He's trying to get better storylines. I still have problems with it.
There's not a lack of talent in AEW. You had it all there. People got hurt, and you put more people to the test.
I think a lot of people forget. A lot of people forget, and nobody wants to bring it up anymore because it's easy to beat up on Khan because he's a figure that you kind of don't want to like, which is why I think he should be a heel. To be honest, get on the fucking screen and be a fucking heel. Go nuts, man. I really believe that. You're garnering enough heat already, but I think a lot of people, I just said it a few seconds ago, they forget how many injuries happened before Forbidden Door. That's where everything started to get funny after that point, storyline-wise. He couldn't tell the stories he wanted to. Then people started getting angry behind the scenes. Then all this shit happened. Then Vince leaves, and it was not a good time for him.
And another thing, just in general, is I know the way this country is, and we have to remember that not everything has to be black and white. You don't have to be team A or team B. You don't have to hate one thing and love something else. You can actually like two things, or you can critique one thing.
You absolutely like WWE more, but you don't have to hate on it. But you don't wish it out of existence.
This whole tide and the zeitgeist of everyone going back to WWE and everyone going then back to AEW. We can all talk and disagree. Both are important. We both need both to thrive, and you don't have to be 100% on one side of anything. Just fucking enjoy this whole sports that we love.
When we were growing up, it was obvious. It was obvious that WWF was number one. But we all watched WCW,
right?
And we all liked it.
AEW is the best thing to happen to United States wrestling. 20 years
since WCW went out of business.
Exactly.
Even more than TNA. I like TNA. I supported TNA for the same reason. And Impact Wrestling's still around. Ooh,
true.
And real quick, they had Bound for Glory. They had Bound for Glory the same weekend. I haven't watched it yet. I heard Bound for Glory was one of the best pay-per-views of the year this year.
Oh wow!
So they're doing well. They're trying. They're really trying. It's hard.
We've talked about this for years. There's wrestling everywhere. Yeah. If there's a certain type you're looking for, you can find it.
I have an annual pass with NWA on Fight because I want to watch NWA. I like NWA is good.
I have YouTube.
It makes sense.
I have YouTube TV, and just to get NFL Red Zone, I bought the sports package. And in the sports package, you get 2 channels, which is all Best of Ring of Honor and Best of Impact. It's almost like 24/7 Impact and 24/7 Ring of Honor.
Yeah. I have that with Roku.
Yeah,
they have a lot. It's just an Impact channel, and you can turn it on, and they're playing something all the time. It's great.
On Roku,
dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's on the Roku channel.
There's no charge for that.
No, there's no charge. You go to when you pull up the menu, Dave. I think one says Roku Live. I think you click on that, and it's a fucking full channel. And there's a lot of things. It's just fucking Impact.
I'm gonna lose a lot of sleep this weekend just testing that out.
Yeah, it's awesome. Every a provider that you get, Sling, whatever, will give you something like that. You just gotta dig for it, man. Support NWA, support AEW, support WWE. There's no question they're the biggest promotion, not even just in the U.S. anymore, in the fucking world. And it's been that way for a long time.
Good wrestling. Come on.
Yeah, just enjoy all of it.
Stop being an asshole and stop leaving your shitty fucking opinions online. Your bad ratings.
Thank you. Finally, Dave. I've been bitching about that the last few episodes. I just go off about it. People not supporting our shit online. Which actually, we are gaining quite the following on Facebook. We've had the best interaction with people that we've had in a long time. And some people are starting to dig the O.W.P podcast. I've been getting a lot of comments on our stuff. And I know this sounds lame for sites that have thousands of followers or whatever. But we're doing well, honestly. We're doing it our way. We're doing it our way. This is our niche product.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting more people across.
I hate all of them, but I'm glad they follow us.
I hate all of them.
Check us out on our OnlyFans. We have oil wrestling on Thursdays and Fridays.
Again.
This week I'm taking on Dave in a hot oil bath. It's gonna be great.
I'm ready.
I've actually had some people tell me that hey, you guys are too good to to only have so many followers. I'm like, oh, that's very nice to say. So I do feel like
it is nice. It's a backhanded compliment too, but I get it and I appreciate it.
No, he was like,
comment.
He's like, we got to get the word out on your channel. I'm like, well,
it's just going to take one person to forward us, and then it'll spark. Like I said, this last month, I've been a little bit more aggressive with posting. I've been getting more creative with our clips. As you know, on this last our newest episode that we have out right now, Brock Lesnar 2002. I just tried a little different visual graphic stuff. I like it. It looks great. We've been trying to cut our episodes down to 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Go take a look.
Just don't be freaking stupid and do it. I'm sorry. I'm upset. I'm going to warn you, if you go back to early shit, there's some shit that's 2 hours long, and I'm sorry. We were learning.
2 hours is fine if you love us. That's fine.
We're much better now.
Let us know. Yeah.
I love you. I love you guys.
All right. Well, we're done with this bullshit.
All right.
Great little thing. Everybody watch All Wrestling and just shut up.
There's wrestling out for everybody.